Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be, of course, reading out of the Old King James Bible. We'll be reading out of the Old Testament and from the New Testament, for the law and to the testimony. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, okay? We also will be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title Sunday Worship or Saturday Worship. Which one is right in the eyes of the Lord? Sunday worship or Saturday worship? Which one is right in the eyes of the Lord? Okay, I'm gonna share these scriptures with you right quick here. Excuse me, you can jot them down if you like. But yeah, tell you people all our lives, even me, I'm tell you, I always think, man, going to church, going to church on Sunday. Yeah, man. I won't go every Sunday. I won't miss no Sunday, you know. But, I got to wondering about that thing. I got older, I got to wondering about it. I said, you know what? I said, everywhere I've been started reading the Bible, man, every time you read it, looks like it's talking about the Sabbath day, and that was the seventh day of the week. I took a look at my calendar. I said, okay, huh. So I start counting from left to right. Sunday being the first day of the week, and Saturday being the seventh day of the week. And the Lord had written that the seventh day he rested. And remember, he called it his Sabbath day. And he didn't even put names on the days of the week. He only day of the week that he named was Saturday, which he called it his Sabbath day. I said, maybe there's something. But we're going to take a look at these scriptures today, and we're going to see if Sunday is the Lord's Sabbath day or if Saturday is actually the Lord's Sabbath day. Okay? Well, I'm going to stop sharing these. We're going to go ahead on and get in these, go over these scriptures right quick so you can get a tad bit understanding on this thing. I think by the time we finish these scriptures, there won't be no doubt in your mind what day the Lord's Sabbath day is. Okay? Is it going to be Sunday or is it going to be Saturday? Okay? But we're going to start this in We'll start this in Exodus. Exodus, the 20th chapter. And let's see, we're going to start reading at verse 8. And this is when the Lord was on Mount Sinai and he gave the children of Israel his commandments. And Israel's supposed to taught the whole world God's commandments. Okay? Now, let's see what he told them right here. This is Exodus 20. Start reading at verse 8. And it reads, Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Did he say remember Sunday to keep it holy? Mm-mm. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Okay, verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day, which we know is Saturday, okay, is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Now, ain't that so? In it thou shalt not do any work. You don't want you doing no work on that day. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. So he talking not only to Israel, he said a stranger too. Anybody join their hand to the Lord? Hey, and who are the strangers? The Gentiles. Okay. But verse 11, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, made it holy. Okay, and then you look at this right here. These are the commandments. The Lord thought so highly of his Sabbath day, or he thinks so highly of his Sabbath day, that he had it put in the commandments. So he commanded us to do this. He said, remember it, not Sunday. Okay. But let's go on and take a closer look at it. Let's go over here to Isaiah right quick. Take a quick look at this. On Isaiah, let's see, Isaiah 58. Isaiah 58, and start reading at verse 13. And it reads, If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and we know that holy day is the Sabbath day, okay, and call the Sabbath a delight. The Lord don't want you doing your own pleasure. What is your pleasure? Watching football, washing your car, doing your laundry. That's working. Carrying on. going to the ball game, football game, all that kind of stuff, man. He said, don't do your pleasure on pleasure, all right? And the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, not doing your ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own word. No, Lord don't even want us speaking our own word. He want to keep our heart. He want us to keep our hearts and our mind on his word that day to keep it holy. Okay, verse 14. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. You keep the Lord's Sabbath day, man. In other words, plain and simple, he said, hey, he will bless you. All right. But that's his Sabbath day. All right. But we're still in Isaiah. Let's go over here to Isaiah 56 right quick. Read this here. Let's see, Isaiah 56, and start reading at verse 1. And it reads, Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man. Wait a minute. Bless who? Did he say blessed is the Israelite? Blessed is the Gentile? Nope. He said, blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it. Polluting it. How do you pollute the Lord's Sabbath day? Doing your own ways, everything you want to do, working, doing your pleasure. Hmm. But that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Okay. Verse 6. Also, the sons of the stranger, say it again, didn't they? Let's include everybody that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servant, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, say it again, and taketh hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. See that? For all people. All right. But let's go a little bit further. I'm going to show you this. Let's go to Jeremiah 17. And I'm going to start reading at verse 21. Lord, talk about polluting his Sabbath day. Look at this. Oh, this is Jeremiah 17. Start reading at verse 21. And it reads, Thus said the Lord, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem, neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. Okay? The Lord commanded them to do it. Expect for us to do it as well. No carry no burden out of your house. Man, you arguing with your wife, or your wife arguing with you. You arguing with your children. Now you all upset. No, now you're going to head on to church. Lord said, don't bring the burdens on the Sabbath day. Don't even bring them out of your house. Okay? But let's go a little further here. Let's go to Numbers, man, because let me tell you something, people. The Lord take his Sabbath day very serious. He don't play. He said, remember, keep it holy. Don't do no work. Let me show you this example right here. The Lord wrote these things for us, man, for examples for us. So we know not to do them. All right. But check this out here. This is Numbers the 15th chapter, and I'm gonna start reading at verse let's see, verse 32. Now, right here, man, this cat was out there. This is when Israel was out in the wilderness. They caught this cat doing some stuff here, man. He was doing something he had no business doing. Let's see what happened here. This is Numbers 15, verse 32, and it reads, And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. I wonder what was he gonna do with those sticks? I wonder was he gonna kindle a fire. Lord told you don't kindle no fire. But I'm not saying he did. I don't know what he was gonna do with them sticks. Okay. But 33. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. Verse 34. And they put him in ward. So they locked him up. Okay, because it was not declared what should be done to him. So they locked him up because they ain't know what to do with the guy, right? So Moses, he went and he inquired with the Lord. Let's see what the Lord told him, Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall surely be put to death. What? I mean, the Lord told him to put that guy to death because he was simply picking up sticks on the Lord's Sabbath day? You best better believe it. He told you don't do no work on this Sabbath day. Now, you see how serious this thing is? He said, well, I work on the Sabbath. Well, yeah, well, look at here. Look, the Lord said, come, let us reason together. Now, we know in this day and time, sometimes you got to, or your boss man tell you, hey, man, y'all got to work this Saturday. You don't, I'm going to fire you. You got to feed your family, right? But the Lord understand that. But if you don't have to work, they're not. Okay, you see what they did to this cat right here? Look here. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. You see that? So they took him out. He told them, take him outside that camp, and all the congregation take them rocks, and you stone him to death. And he died, man. Okay, so you see how serious Lord take his Sabbath day, all right? And we know what day that is, don't we? It sure ain't Sunday. Because I'm going to tell you something, Sunday worship, I'll tell you where it came from. So Roman general by the name of Emperor Constantine gave you Sunday worship on in the year 321 AD. If you didn't do it, he put the sword on you. Okay? People been doing it ever since. But hey, if they spotted to sit down and read this book, then they'll know, hey, wait a minute, Sunday ain't the Lord's Sabbath day. The seventh day is Saturday. What are we doing? And do some research, and you'll see for yourself. That's the cat that gave you Sunday worship. Okay? But let's go a little bit further here. Let's go over here to the New Testament. I want to show you this because people say, well, LD, oh, what was that? I was, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Hold on just a second here. I was thinking about, oh yeah, yeah. I was saying, man. He said, you know, that was the God of the Old Testament, man. He don't do that no more, man. He done changed all of that. I said, hey, well, I read, Lord, he don't change. Okay, we're gonna show you that. But let's look at this right here first. Let's go to this is Hebrews 13th chapter. I'm gonna read one verse right here, verse 8. And it reads, Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. So he don't change. Let's look at this right quick. Let me show you this. He had it written, man. I mean, ain't nothing you, man, you want to know something? Go in this Bible, but it is there. Okay. This is Malachi the third chapter and read one verse, verse 6, and it reads, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay. So he don't change. He's same yesterday, today, and forever. Okay. If he stoned the guy, had a guy stoned back then, and he died, what the Lord have written? He said, let the wheat grow with the tare. He will separate at the harvest. Got something waiting on you. Okay. You may not be getting it in the back now, but it's coming. So if I were you, I'd get away from that Sunday thing. Because I'm going to tell you, if you do not know what you are worshiping, let me show you why I say that. Let's take a quick look at this here. Let's go to Luke, the fourth chapter, right quick. Let me show you right here. The Lord was talking to he was talking to this Samaritan woman, and let's see what happened right here. Going to going to Luke, the fourth chapter. And I'll start reading at verse let's see, verse wait a minute. I think I am I'm not in the right place. Give me a second here. I'm sorry. I don't know why I went over this thing many times. I got it written down wrong. But let's see. Oh, you know what? I left the scripture out. That's what it was. So, but anyway, let's see. That's going to come up next. Uh, yeah, that's going to come up a couple of scriptures down. So right now, I'm going to Luke, the 14th chapter, and I'm going to show you who all is keeping the Sabbath day, who all was keeping Lord's Sabbath day. Okay, this is Luke, the fourth chapter. I'm start reading in verse 14, and read, and Jesus. returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the regions round about. And he taught in their synagogues, he taught in their churches, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as what was the custom? Something you do all the time, right? Okay. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue, he went into the church on the Sabbath day and stood up for the read. So Jesus kept the Sabbath day, his own Sabbath day. He kept it. Okay, if Jesus can keep it, what's wrong with us keeping it? Okay. And tell you something else, if you notice what he did too, he stood up for the read. He read. Okay. What these cats doing today? They'll read a little bit, but they close up the book, then they go to dancing across stage like James Brown, man, doing that old foot twist. You know? You got to learn something, man. How you gonna learn if you don't read this book? Okay. But let's go a little further here. Let's go over here to let's go to Acts right quick. Acts 18. Show you who else kept the Sabbath day. Okay, going to Acts 18. I'm gonna start reading at verse 1. And it reads, after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately came from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome. And they and came unto them. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and worked, for by their occupation they were tent makers. Okay, verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogues, and he reasoned in the church every Sabbath, and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks. Okay, so even Paul and his followers kept the Lord's Sabbath day. Okay, so what are you doing on Sunday? Okay, I told you, gave it to you. The Lord didn't give you that. He gave you Saturday, his Sabbath day. All right, but let's take a look at this right quick. Now I want to show you this. When the Lord was talking to this Samaritan woman, man, they was at Jacob's well, and the disciples that went on into the city there to buy some food, some meat or something there. And the Lord was left alone with this woman he was talking to. And let's see what happened right here. Because let me tell you something, you going in these churches on Sunday, if you knew what you was worshiping, you run like a scalded dog. I mean, you run fast than you ever ran before in your life, trying to get away from it. Okay. But let's look at this here. This is St. John, the fourth chapter, and start reading at verse 19. And it reads, the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Okay, she was telling the Lord that. All right, verse 20. And our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is where the place where men ought to worship. Verse 21. See what Jesus told her right here. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Now pay close attention to this one. Verse 22. Ye worship, he told her this, ye worship ye know not what. And you know what? You going to church in them churches on Sunday? Ye worship ye know not what. Telling you. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Okay? So, might want to do some research, people. Telling you something, you're going in those churches on Sunday, first day of the week, you're not keeping the Lord's commandments. What the Lord have written said, you break the least of these commandments, you have broken them all. Okay? And that's sin. And what does sin end up being? When it is finished, bring us forth death. Okay? But let's go a little further here. I want to go to this last scripture right quick. I want to show you this. Let's go to Exodus. Let's see, going to Exodus 31. And I'm gonna start reading that verse. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. 31. Right here. Okay, Exodus 31, start reading verse 12. Now listen to this. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath ye shall keep. Yeah, he told Israel that, but Israel's supposed to talk the whole world. That's everybody. He talking about the strangers too. You join your hand to the Lord. Hey, listen to this now. Oh, verily my Sabbath ye shall keep. And it is a sign. Hmm. It is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doeth sanctify you. So those that keeping the Lord's Sabbath day, that is a sign between God and you. All right. So let's see, verse 15. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest. Hold it to the Lord. Let's hold it to him. That's yeah. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. You saw what they did to that cat over in Numbers in 15th chapter we read about for just simply picking up sticks on the Lord's Sabbath day. Okay. But they'll be coming. But check this out. This is what I really want you to see here. Verse 17. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever, and those that join the hand of the Lord. All right. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. So you keep the Lord's Sabbath day, that's a sign between you and the true and living God. Okay. Now, if the Lord's Sabbath day is on Saturday, who is it a sign between of those that's keeping Sunday? That's something you got to ask yourself. Okay, think on that. But I tell you what, I didn't throw this in the lineup, but I'm gonna read this one verse. I'm gonna read this one scripture to you here. I want to show you this because now you use your own imagination and think on this. Because you worship him on Sunday. Lord says a sign between him and you. But if you're doing this Sunday thing, and you want you need to see who that sign is between. Let me see. I want to just show you this. I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna read it to you, and you can you can figure this one out. Okay, this is Isaiah 14. I'm start reading at verse 12, and it reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" Now, who was Lucifer? Lucifer was the light bringer when he was in heaven. But when iniquity was found in him, he was kicked out of heaven. Okay, now his name is Satan, the devil, the serpent, uh, all those names. You can see all his titles over in Revelation 12th chapter. Go read on your own sometime. But we know what we're talking about here. Okay, how art thou cut down to the ground, which did it weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, O Satan said in his mind, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Oh, Satan want to be like the Lord, huh? Hmm. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So you know where his final destination is. That's the lake of fire, okay? But he said, I will be like the Most High. So the Lord got a Sabbath day, and it is Saturday. Don't you think Satan got himself a Sabbath day? I wonder what day that is. Hmm. You figure that one out on your own. So, but what I will tell you this, you worship you know not what. So you might want to do a little research. Okay. But with that food for thought, think on those scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.